Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Pennsylvania Association for College Admission Counseling Virtual College Fair. Thank you so much for joining us. We are really excited you are here. Before we get started, we do have a few housekeeping items to note. First, if you have any questions at all, feel free to submit those through the Q&A button. You can type in your questions to the presenters at any time. They are there, ready and available to answer any questions you have. Your camera and microphone are off. You are muted and your video is off. The panelists can't see or hear you. There are more sessions happening, so feel free to sign up for more sessions at the next time slot to hear from other college representatives. And lastly, this recording will be available a week from today at strivescan.com/Pennsylvania. We are currently in session E5, where my mouse is circling. And it will also be the order of all our presenters tonight. So without further ado, I'll get out of the way and introduce our first presenter from Pennsylvania College of Art and Design.
Awesome. Welcome, everyone. Share my screen really quick. Alrighty, so my name is Osman Ori, and I'm representing Pennsylvania College of Art and Design today, also as an alum and an admissions counselor, but I'm gonna get started. So here at Pennsylvania College of Art and Design, we like to think of our students and get them to see differently. We do that through adaptive thinking and effective creative making within our school. We were founded in 1982. So we're a relatively young school that was built for artists by artists. When you come to our school, you'll get your four-year degree in Bachelor of Fine Arts in any of our 5 degrees listed here, and our upcoming live experience design major this coming fall. And we like to consider ourselves a micro college, so we're just under total enrollment of 300 students. We usually range from about 250 to 300 at max. We're also located in Lancaster City, PA, right in the heart of the city. As you can see, we're located around Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Philadelphia, and New York as the major metropolitan areas. We also frequent trips to Washington, D.C., seeing as there's a number of different museums and arts culture down there as well. Kind of going with our small size, we do have a 10-to-1 student-teacher ratio that also lends itself to that personal experience we like to provide with a lot of our students. We also have state-of-the-art, state-of-the-art studios and classrooms ranging from wood shops, printmaking studios, design labs, and our Syncdeep lab list shown here in this photograph. We also have working artists and designers, not only within the classroom, but outside the classroom, who own their own businesses, create their own art, but also bring that own experience into the classroom with you within the foundation year, all the way up to your senior year when you're working on your senior thesis. So foundation year is kind of a mixed bag of all the majors that we have at the school. You're going to be tackling everything from painting to digital media work to sculpture within the 6 studio courses that we present over the 2 semesters. We also have your liberal arts courses going with communication arts and your 2 art history courses that can range from, intro to European art, intro to Western art, things like that. But that's basically what the foundation year when you come in that first year. We are introducing new minors and liberal arts focus areas. Any of our students can major and minor in any of these listed focuses down here. And also have a liberal arts focus area if you want to go that route, whether you're interested in life physical sciences or verbal communication. But we do help our students kind of figure out where they want to go and how they want to go about their schedule when they undertake the minor program or the liberal arts focus area program. So going to departments and majors, just a little background. Within animation and gaming art, there are a number of different tracks that we tend to focus on within that major. There's 8 different tracks essentially, but a lot of our students tend to focus on one of those tracks the next 2 years that are in that major. But those can range from character animation in film and games, character modeling, environmental and level design, things like that of that nature. But usually they have a lot more time to work on their senior thesis or junior thesis projects going into that major. Fine art's a little bit more broad, a little bit more open to exploration. A lot of our students tend to explore traditional and digital medias, but it's kind of a mixed bag of things that they want to do. There's a lot less guidance just because we want our students to be able to guide themselves and have a little bit more coaching rather than the teachers telling them everything that they do. So they have a lot more room for experimentation when going into the fine art major. Graphic design, we like to have our students think outside the box when it comes to graphic design, but we're also gearing our students to use visual information and data to figure out how to get an idea across using visuals and their artistic and creative licensing when thinking about that, and also the user experience and user interface dealing with websites and graphic design in that way. And within illustration, there's also 2 tracks within illustration. We have the contemporary track and the classical track. They kind of go hand in hand with each other, but most contemporary tracks deal with more commercial art, gift cards, things like that. And then the classical track is more storytelling, narrative, visual mood boards, storyboards, things like that, your comics, your conceptual art. And we do have students that kind of grapple between both, but essentially you can choose between those 2 tracks, and then you'll be guided through that process in that major. Last but not least, we have photography and design. Usually a lot of our students focus on film aspects, so it can help them understand the process. Then they explore more traditional materials, dealing with installation, video, things like that. And then we go into more professional aspects, dealing with websites and things of that nature. Our newest major coming in fall is live experience design. You can ask me more details in the Q&A. I don't want to go too much into it, but that's our newest major coming in the fall. We do have housing. It's off-campus housing located about 2 blocks away from the school. And we do help the students essentially get through the housing process, whether they want to live with us or live off campus in another housing that we've dealt with before. These are just some examples. And then I know I'm going really fast. So we do have an application process. If you want to ask me more about that, you can just go to admissions@pcat.edu to get that process started. And then we do have some requirements: a portfolio, personal statement, and official transcript. And we also have a number of different events coming up that help you with that in the overall run. And thank you.
Awesome, thank you. Our next presenter is from Delaware Valley University.
Hi, everyone. This is Melanie Spratt, Associate Director of Delaware Valley University. Delaware Valley University is a private institution. We're founded in 1896. It enrolls about approximately 1,900 students on its suburban 570-acre campus. Del Val offers more than 28 undergraduate majors, 7 master programs, and a doctoral program. And I'm going to share my screen and do a really quick presentation for everybody. And I'm going to play a video in the beginning.
Welcome to Delaware Valley University. Our campus is located in picturesque Doylestown, Pennsylvania. We are a small, private university with just over 1,900 undergraduate students. With over 25 undergraduate programs to choose from, you have the ability to explore your interests and flourish. We offer living laboratories across our 550 acres of lush land, whether it be tending to our plants in our greenhouse or designing a website in our Media and Communications Design Lab. With programs like E360, you will have the opportunity to participate in internships, study abroad opportunities, and leadership roles. You are not bound to a traditional teacher-to-student lecture model. You will get your hands dirty by exploring your major through active research and lively academic discourse. Our faculty serve as mentors and provide the framework for you to achieve your goals. Our campus is a place where you can bring your passions and dreams to life while building lifelong friendships with classmates, faculty, and staff members. The Del Val experience brings out the leader in you and molds you into the person you never thought you would become. Del Val is a place where you can dream, design, do.
Okay, we're located, like I said, in Doylestown, Pennsylvania. A few things I just want to point out is that we are designated as the best small town in America, and we're actually rated one of the best places to live. We're within 2 hours drive of major cities and attractions, as you can see by the pictures. And our science, this is our motto. Our founding motto is science with practice. It's a blend of theoretical and practical applications. So these pictures that you're seeing right here are actual classrooms taking place. Del Val offers a unique curriculum that combines world-class academics with real-world experience, individualized by program of study. We have learning, living laboratories all across campus. So again, when we say your hands get dirty, they do. Not a typical school where you're sitting in a lecture hall, staring at a whiteboard or a professor. This is probably one of my favorite slides to share. The Experience 360 program prepares students to solve problems, integrating classroom knowledge with real-world experience. Every student has to do this. We are one of the few institutions that has experiential learning as part of our core. And some of the credit-bearing activities are studying abroad, internships, student research, student teaching. So when you graduate from Del Val, you actually have a working transcript in your hand as well as your diploma. This is really directly related to our career outcomes. For 2019, 94.4% of our graduates are either employed or pursuing additional education. So we really pride ourselves on that statistic. Our school is split up into 4 schools. So the first school is School of Ag and Environmental Science, followed by the School of Life and Physical Sciences, and then the School of Business and Humanities. And then our 4th school is our graduate program. So we have over 7 master's programs and, like I said, 1 doctoral program. We also have an honors program for students. I'm going to share you this testimonial from one of our students.
Hey everyone, my name is Kara Ann and I'm a horticulture major here at Delaware Valley University. I am graduating this May in 2021. I chose to come to Del Val for its close community atmosphere as well as its hands-on learning opportunities. This past summer, I was an intern with Burpee Seed Company, and it was because of Del Val and their awesome faculty and staff members that I had the opportunity to broaden my educational horizons within my major.
So if you haven't applied yet, you can apply online at delval.edu or our Common App, and then obviously submitting transcripts and test scores. We are test optional for this year and next year. And then just additional would be an essay and 1 recommendation letter. This is our tuition and fees. And we also offer academic merit scholarships ranging anywhere from $14,000 to $25,000 each year. And you will get that every year you attend Del Val. And this just talks about our residence life. And I'm gonna talk about getting involved. We have over 70 clubs and organizations to choose from. So there's something for everybody. I'm trying to scroll through these screens really quick. NCAA sports is huge at Del Val. Our football team is nationally ranked every year. We have over 22 intercollegiate sports, and we also have some co-ed sports as well. And here's just some pictures. And I'm going to put my name in the box at the bottom so that you guys can get in touch with me if you have any questions about applying or next steps. If you've already applied and you've been accepted, our admissions counselors are on hand to help everybody in any of your specific questions that you may have. So thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And again, I have a lot more to share with students. I'd be happy to set up Zooms one-on-one with each of you. So I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. Just a reminder, if you have any questions at all, there's been some great questions coming in. Feel free to submit those through the Q&A. And we also encourage to include the school name in your question as well. If you have a direct question, please continue to send those in. And so with that, I'm excited to hear from our next presenter from Goucher College.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kim Donahue. I'm the admissions counselor and a proud Philadelphia area native as well. I'm also a Goucher alum. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Can everybody see that okay? All right. So welcome to Goucher. Goucher was founded in 1885. We are located just outside Baltimore, Maryland, about 20 minutes north of the city. As I said, I grew up in the Philadelphia area, so it's nice to be about an hour and a half away. Pittsburgh area, you can hop on that Southwest flight from BWI Airport to Pittsburgh and be there within an hour. We are just due north of downtown Baltimore, the Baltimore's Inner Harbor area, our great aquarium. And on the left, you see a representation of the colleges in the area. We are in Towson, Maryland, Baltimore County, and are members of the Baltimore College Town Network. Some of these institutions you see listed here, we have an agreement that if a class isn't offered at Goucher, students can take it at one of the neighbors here in the network, as we call it, free of charge. Students can take one per semester once they reach sophomore standing, and there is a shuttle that goes to those other campuses as well. Where we came from, the gentleman you see here is the man we owe it all to, Reverend John Franklin Goucher, founded the Women's College of Baltimore City in 1885 in downtown Baltimore. And then as the first group, we enrolled 10 women and 5 made it through, but we continued to grow. And we moved to where we are in Towson, Maryland, just under 300 acres. This is a great overview of our campus to see the green space, wooded cross country and equestrian trails. However, we're not stuck out in the middle of nowhere. Students can literally walk across the street to the mall and up the hill, as they call it, to the movie theater and great restaurants in the area. Just the facts where we are right now, just over 1,100 graduate students. Our average class size is about 18 or less, and all of our classes are taught by our faculty. The student to faculty ratio will continue to decrease once you get into your junior and senior year, when classes average anywhere from 10 to 15 students. This is our current first year class. You can see we come from 47% are from Maryland, 56% of the students that self-identified as students of color. Just under 30% of our student athletes participate in our Division III sports, and 36% identified as the first in their family to go to college. So while Maryland is represented in states, Pennsylvania, New Jersey are usually within the top 5, as is California, represented in the top 5 states represented from our incoming class. Goucher takes a different approach to our style of learning. Each first year student is required to take a first year seminar on a topic. They can choose about 10 or 12 different topics, and complex problem exploration courses take a look at a topic and review it from different perspectives. We have moved away from the traditional gen ed requirements. All students, regardless of their major, are required to demonstrate proficiency in data analytics, foreign language and culture, and writing. This is a list of our majors. Students definitely have the opportunity to major in one of these areas or participate with one of these minors. Students can create their own major. They can combine a major with 2 areas of study as well. And we recently announced several new majors, including education studies. Engineering science is a liberal arts approach, so it's not necessarily mechanical or architectural, it's a liberal arts approach to engineering. And we recently announced 2 4+1 programs in business, one with Johns Hopkins University and the other with Loyola University in their MBA program. One of the things that's very important for our students is to be culturally aware, and I will say this, in a non-pandemic world, all Goucher students study abroad before they graduate, either as part of a 3-week program, an ICA, or a semester-long program. It's a very small map, but I can tell you this is where we send our students, there are 60 programs in 35 different countries, and students work with our Office of Global Education to figure out where they want to go and which program they want to participate in. Goucher has 9 signature programs for community service or community-based learning, and students meet with these programs on a weekly basis, and it's not uncommon for our students to work with these programs all 4 years at Goucher. We also believe in experiential hands-on learning, and this is just a list of where some of our students have interned. Recently, we've had students intern in their hometown, nationally, and even internationally while they are studying abroad. How we help our students, we have tutoring centers, if you will, in the writing center. The quantitative reasoning center, or QR, will help students with data analytics. Goucher has a very strong pre-med and pre-health program, so we have a designated advisor for that. Academic Center for Excellence, ACE, is our tutoring center, and each first-year student is assigned a first-year advisor. Navigate is actually an app that our students use on their phone to stay in touch with faculty, to set appointments, and also it is used for our student life staff as well. We are a residential community. and students are required to live on campus for their first 2 years unless they're within a 20-mile radius of campus. We recently opened a first-year village, which is a residential hall just for first-year students, and recently renovated the Mary Fisher Dining Center. Very quickly, we have over 60 clubs and organizations on campus, Division III sports, and then finally, we have an amazing equestrian program at Goucher. We have an indoor and outdoor facility right on campus. Thank you so much. I look forward to answering any questions you may have.
Very helpful information. The next representative is from St. Bonaventure University.
Thank you. And while I am starting to share my screen, I will just introduce myself quickly. My name is Duran Wells. I am an admissions counselor here at Bonaventure. So we actually have Pennsylvania split. I have Western Pennsylvania, and then my colleague has Eastern Pennsylvania. But I am excited to chat with you all. One, because I am an alum of St. Bonaventure University. I graduated in 2019. So I'm going to kind of throw in a little plot twist and obviously share a little bit about our admissions process, but I want to share some stories about Bonaventure because that's the best way to convey who we are. And that actually leads me to the next slide. So who are we at St. Bonaventure? We're a smaller university located in Western New York with just over 2,400 students in total in our on-campus programs. So what that means, if you look on that number underneath in green, it means that you have a smaller classroom setting. So you'll have 12-to-1 student to faculty ratio. And just to kind of put that in a bigger picture, that means that you really get to know your professors, and the opposite is true as well. They get to know you, they genuinely care about you. My favorite story was my first year at Bonas. One of my psych classes, the professor was saying, you know, I don't have great access to Wi-Fi back home, so I can't really answer emails outside of the office. And so we're all panicking, like, what about when we're studying for a test? What do we do? She tells us to calm down, take out our phones, take out a piece of paper, and she gave us her home phone number. And there was a time on a Saturday where we called her when we were studying for a Monday test, and she put us on speaker, and she was making dinner, and her husband's in the background, and she's answering questions. And so that really kind of is true across the board at St. Bonaventure. The professors are not just there to teach you, but they're there to help you grow as a person all around. Some last kind of numbers I want to point out in this screen here are our majors, which actually that number is higher now. In the last week alone, we've added graduate programs and undergraduate programs here on campus. And then the same is true with that minor number there. So a lot of options to explore some different academic programs on campus. And then the last thing I'll point out is that number in the gray at the bottom. So 97% of our graduates are either employed or in graduate school within 6 months of graduating from St. Bonaventure. I actually did both those things right in-house. I started my master's and started working for the university just a couple of weeks after I graduated, actually. Just a little bit of history. We're the nation's first Franciscan university. And so what that means is kind of explained in that little blurb at the bottom, but to tell you again, kind of in a story, what being Franciscan means at St. Bonaventure. It's not solely about religion. It's not about religion. It's not about anything like that. It's really just about becoming a better person. And so you'll see in that blurb, it says, no knowledge without love. And at Bonaventure, we really love each other and care about one another. And that's one of the most important things that we have going on at Bonas. So to be real with all of you, I want to talk about a big reason why you should choose Bonaventure. And that's explained in this slide here. So you'll see in big letters value, and you'll see some high ranking numbers here. Number 2, I definitely think we should be number 1 in the next time that they do this, but number 2 best value in New York State. And what that means is you're getting the most bang for your buck, essentially. So college is an investment, and you want to make sure that socially, academically, professionally, you're really prepared to do everything that you want and then some. And that's exactly what we do at Bonaventure. Just to give you a quick overview of some of those majors that I was talking about in the beginning, you'll see our School of Business, School of Education, and so on. Our School of Business and our sciences are probably our most popular at Bonas, and then also combining our sciences with those combined degree programs you'll see on the right. So we have partnerships with med schools, dental schools, pharmacy schools, all of those things. Are interested in physical therapy, we have those options as well. So it allows you to, during your senior year, apply to St. Bonaventure for undergrad, but then also apply to medical school as well. So kind of gives you an awesome way to kind of set up the next 4, 8 or so years of your life right out of the gate. Athletics. St. Bonaventure is Division I. I was lucky enough to have the opportunity to run cross country and track here at Bonaventure my 4 years there, and it was the best decision of my life. Again, looking at that smaller school size, we don't follow the same trend as a lot of other larger Division I schools. We're more than just athletes. You're more than just someone who's supposed to go out and compete, and that's it. Your coaches, the athletic staff, whether it's Tim Kenny or who we call TK, our athletic director, or if it's our maintenance staff in our athletic facilities. They all know your name. They pay attention to how you're doing, whether you're on the basketball team or you're a runner. They look at your times, they look at your stats, and they genuinely care about you. And so anyone who's interested in continuing their athletic career, I definitely think Bonaventure's somewhere you should explore. Just to give you an idea of how admissions works here at Bonas, we are rolling admit for everything except for those dual degree programs I was talking about, so those med school opportunities. And what that means is no deadline. Whenever you're ready to apply, whenever you have all your materials in, you submit that and we'll get back to you normally in 2 to 3 weeks. With our virtual world that we're in now, that is a lot faster these days because we're all staring at our computers, just kind of ready to go. But to complete the application, you can reply right on our website or using Common App. We'll need your transcripts, an essay, which you can choose different prompts, and then at least one letter of recommendation. We are test optional. So if you don't want to take the test or you don't have the opportunity to take the test, hopefully, knock on wood, that isn't a situation anymore, but you don't have to worry about that if you don't want to submit it. We look at your weighted averages from your first year to your junior year, and then we also accept AP classes, IB classes, and dual credit classes as well. Looking at some of those grades impact our merit scholarships. So those range from $9,000 to $25,000 each year. And so that's something we can talk about a little bit more. If anyone has questions, feel free to throw that in the chat. With that being said, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I will put my contact information in the chat as well. So if you want to reach out to me directly, feel free to do that. But here are our university's social media handles so you can kind of stay in the loop with all that's going on at Bonas. So thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Before we hear from our next representative, again, it was just mentioned, but feel free to submit any of your questions through the Q&A. Our representatives are there and ready to answer any questions that you have throughout the presentations. And our next presenter is certainly one of the last ones, but certainly not least. And so I'd like to introduce our representative from Villanova University.
Hi, everyone. My name is Pam Swope, coming to you from Philadelphia. That's where I live, but I'm representing Villanova University right now. I'm the Assistant Director of Admission. I'm going to share my screen, and I have a few slides to show you. As a reminder, like she just said, make sure you put those questions in the Q&A. That's what we're here for, to answer any questions that you have. So please make sure to use that Q&A section. All right, so Villanova University was founded in 1842. We are an Augustinian Catholic institution. We are located, I'd say, about 18-ish miles outside of Philadelphia. There's a few images on here I want to go around. Then I'm going to quickly talk to you about academics and then throw at you the quick application process. So you can see the one picture there is a beautiful aerial view of campus. We are a suburban campus, but the nice thing about it is there's 2 trains, so public transportation, that go through the campus and get you into Philly in about 25 minutes. We're also about 20 minutes from the Philadelphia International Airport if you're coming from a little bit farther away. Some other things we can talk about is our campus life. So I'm not sure if you've seen us on the NCAA tournament, but we did make it to the Sweet 16. We're very excited about that. We are Division I when it comes to athletics, but there's a lot of opportunity to get involved in our campus, and that includes intramural sports, club sports. We also have over 260 different clubs and organizations on campus that you can get involved with. And our campus is around 6,500 undergraduate students, 10,000 if you include our graduate students. But with that nice size 6,500 students, it's not too hard to start a club if you wanted to start one on campus, but it's very, very easy to get involved. Some very important things that we focus on as a university are Veritas, Unitas, Caritas, and that's truth, unity, and love. And the truth is what you're here to seek in the classroom. The Unitas is the campus community that you'll experience, and the Caritas is the love. And for us, love is giving back to the community. And you can see that one picture down in the corner, that's from our Special Olympics program, which is the largest student-run Special Olympics that happens in the world, because it's completely run by our students. And that's just one of many different ways that we're giving back to the community. I'm going to go to the next slide to tell you a little bit about academics. We have 4 academic colleges with over 80 plus majors and minors. So there's our College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, our Villanova School of Business, our College of Engineering, and our Fitzpatrick College of Nursing. When you apply as an incoming freshman at Villanova, you apply directly into one of these specific colleges. And then from there, you come to Villanova and you can add a minor, you could add a double major, you could add pre-med, you could add pre-law, right? Those are all different types of minors that you can add to your specific major. All students receive an academic advisor who they can talk to about adding all of those different things. Another thing that students might encounter with their academics is studying abroad. We know now things are a little different, but once things get picked back up, we have our students go all over the world. You can go away for a week, you can go away for a month, you can do a whole semester or even a whole year. So if there's something specific you're looking to when it comes to study abroad, you have the chance to find that here. And my last slide is to talk about our dates and our deadlines of when to apply. So when you apply to college, there's lots of different ways to apply. Like St. Bonaventure, they are rolling. There's no deadline to apply. For us, we have early action, early decision, and regular decision. That means that there is a deadline to apply, and that's what you can see right here. So this is specifically for juniors for you for next year. Early action, that's when you're applying earlier to get your decision earlier. So you'd apply by November 1st, you'd find out your decision probably around Christmas time, and then you would decide if you're going to come to the university on May 1st. May 1st is National Decision Day. Then there's early decision. I like to remember it as you're deciding now that this is the school that I want to go to, because this is the binding agreement. That means you, your parents or guardian, and your counselor from your high school will sign an agreement that says, if I get into Villanova, I'm going to Villanova. So that's early decision. And then you have regular decision, which would be January 15th. That is if you're not yet ready to apply on November 1st, you still have chance for January 15th. You'd apply by then, you'd find out before April, usually end of March, and then you'd have until May 1st to decide. So early action, early decision, or regular decision. Then we have early decision 2. So this is maybe you didn't know yet that Villanova was a school for you, and you realized after November 1st, right? You have the January 15th deadline for early decision 2. Remember, early decision is the binding agreement. The other things you want to be aware of when applying to college are financial aid packages. And those are what you get to see how much it's going to cost to go to that college. So for us, we ask that you file the FAFSA, which is the free application for federal student aid, and the CSS profile. All of this is on our website, and we can also talk more about it if you need to. But you submit those forms to get your financial aid package. And that's going to let you know if you qualify for loans you pay back, grants are great, that's free money, and then work study, which would be an opportunity for a job on campus. So those are very important forms that you'll file and send to all the colleges that you're applying to. When it comes to Villanova, it's very important that you check out our scholarships.villanova.edu. That's where you'll be able to see a full list of everything that we have to offer. You can see what you believe you'd qualify for, and you can submit that for an application. Other than that, please follow us on our social media and keep track and come visit us when you have the chance. And also when we open back up, things are a little strange now, but you should be able to come for self-guided tours this summer. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We do have some time left, so that to all our presenters, great information. And so at this time, that's all we have as far as information, but we are going to pivot into our Q&A portion of the webinar. And so at this time, if all presenters can turn on cameras, unmute themselves, and we'll go ahead and start with our first question, which is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? Again, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And we'll go ahead and answer in the order in which you all presented it.
Okay. My biggest piece of advice to students applying to art school or any college is make sure that you're the right fit for that institution, and that institution is also looking out for your best interest in you coming to the school or helping you find the right place for yourself.
I would like to add to that. I agree with that also, but I would also like to add that I talk to students all the time. You know, you want to go to a small school or a big school. If you're really not sure, visit both. I tell students you're going to get on a campus, and whether it's your tour guide or your admissions counselor or a coach you connected with, it's just going to feel right. I tell students go with their gut. Just make sure that the school has what you want as offerings. And, you know, again, that small school, big school feel, whatever, you know, makes the fit for you is where I would go.
I would absolutely agree with that as well. And when it's safe, visit as much as you can. I know colleges now are offering virtual events and virtual tours. I know Zoom fatigue is a thing, but visit. And when you go, ask questions. Of course, you can get the information session, and counselors can give you as much information and stats and facts as we want, but ask the students. Really, they will give you those answers. Ask them and take advantage of the opportunities to speak with students and faculty of the area that you're interested in.
And I definitely just need to echo everything that everyone has said thus far. And I would just kind of add definitely what Melanie said. That was going to be my go-to. So when I was looking at Bonaventure, I kind of related it to that feeling you get once you're finally home from a long day of work, or you're just finally relaxing and you just feel good. That's what made me choose Bonaventure. So whatever school that you're all looking at, kind of see which school gives you that feeling, and then definitely asking the people who work there and the people who go to school there their genuine opinions about why they chose it, whether for college or for employment, and really judge their reaction. Is it kind of staged, or are they genuinely happy where they are?
I would say that when you're looking at colleges, you're definitely going to be influenced a lot by the people around you, including the people who are your family, the people who are your friends, the people who are your teachers. And it's really important that you do you. Right? You know, maybe your best friend's going here. You don't have to go where your best friend goes. Or maybe your boyfriend or your girlfriend's going here. You shouldn't go where they go, but that's but it's important that you find what's good for you, because a lot of people are going to have opinions. So make sure that you focus on what's important and what's best for you.
All great advice. I always say that it's great to hear directly from those who are working in the school and admissions to give great advice. So thank you. Our next question is, what is your favorite event or tradition on campus?
It's a bunch of events we hold. Honestly, my favorite event, which there's two. One's called a design-a-thon, where the students collectively get together and they pitch their ideas to a number of different local businesses around Lancaster. And they spend 24 hours in the school coming up with ideas and ways to pitch this new brand set to these 5 businesses. The president usually brings the students like breakfast at like 5 in the morning, which is awesome. But it's a very exhausting but fun experience for the students, and anyone can participate. It used to just be graphic design, but that's like probably one of my favorite events. And then the senior thesis and show that we have at the end of the year for all of our seniors, and you know, students go all out. We have catering. You know, it's a really big event that we hold. The whole school turns into a gallery, and it's amazing. So those are probably my 2 favorite events.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with 2 events as well. And I was I'm a Del Val alum as well. So I'm gonna have to say every April we have a student run event. It's called A Day. It's a fair and the students run it. And it's just a huge community atmosphere, and it's just so much fun. I mean, there's rides, there's a petting zoo, there's a lot of stuff to do. We make homemade milkshakes and food, and so it's a lot of fun. But the cool part about it is it's all student run, no faculty's involved, no, staff or anybody. It's all run by the students. My second would be football games, home football games. There's nothing like them. And at Del Val, it's nice that we're good to, we're a good team to watch because we do well. But also it's, again, the community. We are a close-knit, tight community. So the games are packed, and there's nothing better than a Saturday football game on Del Val's campus. So I would have to go with those two.
In my presentation, I showed that first slide is the first year residential village. And during first year students move in on a designated day, you go to the tent outside your dorm building, and then your car will be surrounded by students, faculty, and staff, and we unload the car for you. Our goal is to get you everything out of your car within 5 minutes, and then we help you up to your room and deliver those boxes for you. So it's a great sense of community. It is a great kickoff for our new students.
So mine also has to do with that first year move-in day. So it's something that is kind of a bookend. So that first day that you move in, or actually that night, you'll attend something called the candlelight ceremony. And when you're in it, your first year, you're like, what is this going? Like, why am I lighting this candle? And why are all these people talking to me? But it's really just to welcome you to the Bonaventure community. And then it really gets emotional 4 years later, because the night before you graduate, you do it again. And it's just kind of congratulating you on the last 4 years and welcoming you to the alumni network. So I went from kind of judging it my first year to crying in our president's arms the night before graduation. So definitely my favorite event.
I had briefly mentioned this when I did my little presentation, but we host the largest student-run Special Olympics in the world. So I think that's a really awesome event that we have on campus, held every year, completely run by students, but everybody in the campus community gets involved. And we even have volunteers from outside the campus community come to it as well. It's a really fantastic, uplifting event that we host. So that's what I'd say.
Sorry about that. We do have a few more minutes left. And so I'm going to go ahead and combine one that came in through the chat along with this one. And so we can just keep this one brief to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to answer. And so this question is, give an interesting or fun fact about your school. And then the other question is, are transfer credits expected, or do you take transfer credits? So you can do like a 2-for-1 really briefly. We'll go ahead and get started.
Okay. Fun fact, part of our school used to be a parking garage, which is very, very awesome. But we do take transfer credits. If you do take a gap year, you go to get an associate's degree program at any other art program, we do take those credits. My advice to students that want to transfer in, try to take as many art classes as possible. And we usually work with you to figure out what those transfer credits will be and go over that for you. So.
I would say a fun fact about Del Val is on our 570 acre campus, we have a south campus that has a ton of animals. We have a huge equestrian center with horses. We have a breeding farm. So I was an accounting major at Del Val, so I was on the upper campus, but I did have friends that took a lot of classes down there. So that is a really cool fun fact. And yes, transfer credits. We enroll a lot of transfers for a small school that we are. We have a huge transfer pool. And we're very transfer friendly, and we make the process pretty seamless, and we will fight for every credit you took because it was your time and your money. So.
Fun fact for us, our mascot is the gopher. All right, so go Gophers, fear the gopher, love that. Yes, transfer friendly, particularly if students are taking dual enrollment. From your high school experience, you can transfer up to 12 credits. As a transfer, you can transfer up to 60 credits to Goucher.
Fun facts about our university. I would say one fun fact is, I think, pretty cool, especially as a runner. So Bonaventure, we own 500 acres, and our campus is pretty small, but the land is for us to kind of explore. So trails and all that good stuff are a good time. And then transfer credits, same as everyone else, we do. And we also work with you to make sure that we get all those credits in. So we have a transfer coordinator that will kind of walk you through that process. And then if you're looking at dual credit classes, then just sending those transcripts in, they're easy for us to knock out.
Our fun fact is that the Pope's social media was started by Villanova students who are studying abroad in Rome. So they helped create the Pope's social media accounts. And then with transfer credits, we are a little specific. So the classes need to be taught through a college, on a college campus. We know things are a little different these days, but with college professors competing with college students. So that gets a little tricky with taking like dual enrollment. Often we don't take it from like the high school college class, but you could always reach out to us and ask us about what the kind of class you're in and see if it's something we could take, or send us your college transcripts and have them be reviewed by our transfer counselor. So there you go.
Thank you. That was really quick. So thank you all. I always love hearing about the fun facts and all the interesting things about that happen on your campus and your favorite events and traditions. So thank you for sharing. Thank you to all our presenters for all the great, wonderful information, great questions in the Q&A. And so thank you all for joining us. We really appreciate it. As we close, there will be a very quick 4-question survey that will appear on your browser. If you could take a moment to fill that out for us, that would be really helpful. There are more sessions happening, so feel free to sign up for more sessions at the next time slot to hear from even more amazing college presenters. And lastly, this recording will be available a week from today at strivescan.com/Pennsylvania. Again, thank you all and have a great night.
Go Wildcats.
Thank you.
Bye.